still suing my landlord. He's still going to have to explain how he just put a lock on my front door, and then when I got in my place, my back door was completely locked. And then when I sealed up my back door, the lock was completely broken off. So then I seal up my back door so tight that nobody can get in it. So what's he do? He breaks off the lock off my front door and then screws a board to it. He was obviously letting people in my house. Bottom line, he can't deny that. He cannot deny that. The door handle was not locked. I was not allowed to lock it. I was arrested. Right? It is. It's a fucking stupid bullshit fucking mess. And why did a judge tell me to sue him and the sheriffs if I didn't have a good case? And there was, yeah, a Judge Carter. Yep. When I was sentenced to 15 days on criminal trespass of my own house, and I relayed it back to the judge verbatim to what the cops' evidence for the case was, but they never listened to the tape. But the judge screamed at me in front of the cops and told me that he was sick of me always playing the victim. He had already heard all about me. So he already had an idea of me prior to even going in that courtroom. I didn't stand a fucking chance. But then when there was no sheriffs around, when it was just me, him, and his court reporter, and I'm sitting in the gallery and I'm crying my eyes out because I know I'm on my way to jail for 15 days when the prosecutor wanted 2. Prosecution asked for 2. I was sentenced 15. For 2 hours. I was cut loose because they were too full. And then I supposedly have it out on appeal. And God only knows how much the fines were, but the fines totaled over $1,000 for sure. Criminal trespass of my own home, my place, my house, that I paid for, that I worked off. The trailer was paid for, but the lot rent wasn't paid. So he can't. It's in a subdivision that doesn't specify. But the landlord, well, it ultimately is like, with what he wanted to tack on for damages is like $6,000 now. But all the damage that was done to my trailer, it's like 4 months worth of fucking work. And then they used that same damage that was against me, the same damage in my trailer, against me for my kids. Saying that my subfloor was missing, my insulation was missing, blah, blah. But this is all the vandalism I was occurring during all of this when I was calling my landlord, who had big old mounds of dirt piled up behind my house and huge trenches dug for people to hide in. And they're still that way to this day. Yeah, I bought that trailer from him. He handed me the title on the anniversary of the house fire. This is how I know it's all orchestrated. When Nino burned down the trailer, Jimmy handed me the title on the 6-year anniversary of it. That's how I know this is all orchestrated. It's how I know Bobby had something to do with it. Bobby knew all the important dates. Bobby knew when to hit me and when to hit me the hardest. He knew how to fuck with my head. The problem was he didn't count on my strength. He thought he knew me oh so well. And he's fucked knowing he's wrong now. I need you to call my lawyer and blow him up. Tell him that you know I was right, please. If you believe that and you know it, please. I've listened to all of it. That's weird. I've listened to all of it. I have 10 of them, Tammy. I have 10 of them. Believe me, I've had intercourse with at least 30 different times. There was at least 3 men in that audio, right? Well, one's fucking me and two are talking. One's fucking me and two are talking and doing drugs. Oh, you can hear me call out Tim's name. I call his name out 3 times that I know of. Yeah, I wasn't awake for that. I was not aware that I was having sex. But you know how loud I am. You know how obnoxious I am. You know how much I laugh and I go. Do you really think I was a willing participant in that? I've had sex in your home. I've had sex in your driveway. I've had sex in my van in the street, in front of your house. Anybody that's had sex with me would be able to say she ain't awake. No, you'll hear me call his name. You hear me moan and groan. There's some times where I do acknowledge that I'm having sex. It's very few and faint and far between. You hear me moaning. But I'm not me. I don't know. I didn't listen to every single word of it. I shouldn't say I listened to the whole thing, but I listened to a lot of it. I sat in the CPS parking lot just freaking out, listening to me being raped at least 30 times on 10 different audios. At least 3 men per audio. And one of them, Tim's even telling the person, go ahead, go say hi, she won't mind. No, the different one. And nobody will fight for me. I stayed here and put up with that because my kids were important. Forward it to Papa's email. Forward it to Papa's email. Let him. I don't want to do it. Let him. Because I ain't talking to him until he can tell me he's sorry. Until he can admit that he didn't believe in me and that I wasn't wrong. And I ain't got nothing to say to him because I needed him to believe me. I have thought about that. That's not the point. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. Tammy, all the times that you've talked to me, you haven't doubted me. You believed me. You had my back. You remembered me. You loved me. Thank you. But you had my back. You believed in me. You remembered me. You know me. They're not my grandparents. They're my parents. They're all I got. And they didn't even believe in me. They believed a person they didn't even like. Yeah, I know. But they believed somebody they don't even like over me. And I was begging them for help. I was begging them to believe me. I was begging them to help. Damn, it's not about the money though. It was about the faith in me and the believing in me. And they could have helped me get home. They could have helped me fight for my kids. They could have called CPS and been like, hey, no. But they didn't. They called CPS, had a conversation, and told me I needed to take a fucking pill. Grandma even told me that right afterwards. That maybe it is me, it's all in my head, and I need to take a pill. And I was at Mike's, and it was right before I was assaulted, a couple weeks before I was assaulted, or a week before I was assaulted.
Did you know that we had
Who?
Carrie and I.
Why?
When we were living at the house.
Why?
Because Gage and his family.
Huh?
Gage's family.
Whose family?
Gage, the father.
Oh.
He turned his in and hired him, and she says she didn't do it, but I know she did. She considers Katarina and Dave as vulnerable adults.
Oh, good God. I mean, I know Caddy's special. Caddy is slow. I'm not going to say she's a rocket scientist. But...
No, the Gage is really is. No, you're not a vulnerable adult.
No, she's
No,
not.
now listen, you're not a vulnerable adult.
Put me on speakerphone.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Hey, Caddy, listen to me. You know that I love you. You know I piss you off on a regular basis. I don't give a shit because no matter what, you're family. Bottom line is, I know you're not a fucking rocket scientist, but you're not a vulnerable adult. You're not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, but you are by far from retarded. You're just a bitch some days. But I still love you anyway. That doesn't make you special.
When Whistler came and they told me I was a vulnerable adult, they said I was a vulnerable adult.
No fucking way.
Yeah, that's what they said. And I knew it came out of their mouth because they like to say that word.
That's bullshit.
And that's before the baby was born. After the baby was born, yeah.
That's bullshit. See, I'm so tired of people being able to do that. People can make a call, they can say whatever the fuck they want, and it fucks somebody's life up. There should be a crime. And instilled, or inflicted, or enforced, whatever you want to call it, when somebody files a fraudulent report.
They walked in my house with my husband sleeping. Who was it?
That's,
And we had to jump all through up his boobs.
see, that's bullshit.
If you don't do what they say, they can't do it too with Annie. With Annie.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna take a pill to do it. That's why actually I'm gonna give you another person to contact. Give me a second to find it. My cat's in the fucking way. Goddamn pussy. Always gotta be blocking the view. This is the lady that I've been talking to through CPS. She's the workers, basically the one above the worker, like if I'm throwing a fit, or excuse me, filing a complaint. Let's see here.
There's somebody here, or like Fanny, she lost her kids. They're half black. Somebody came in, and the thing is, kids are in a foster home, and they have a pure small girl there. It's about the same.
Oh, hell no.
Related to police. They're related to police and dogs. And there's no real reason they pulled those kids out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And now the woman was kind of going, well, you're going to give up. And then she found something that she did. I don't know exactly what the gist of it is, but there's some bad stuff about those social workers.
Well, I'm going to give you this lady's number. I'm not going to, oh shit. I'm going to text it to you actually while we're on the phone. And I'm going to give you her name, but I want you to get a hold of her because I do believe that she is going to be my saving grace. But she needs to hear from other people that have known me and that can fight for me. And I sent her a copy of my rape too. And I said, I am so sorry to have to ask you to listen to this. I'm not ashamed of what somebody else did to me, but I am ashamed, or I am regretful that it had to come to this. You know?
Yeah.
But you're my aunt. You're my family. You're my blood. If you call her and say, I know my aunt, my niece, I guarantee you she is not participating in that. Somebody is using her. That's gonna be that stone that gets thrown that breaks the glass house. You know what I'm saying? They can't deny that. You're my blood. You wiped my cooter when I was a baby. You have known me from the day I was born. There's nobody else that can stand up for me like you can. Like Nona and Papa could have. That's why I'm so angry with them.
But you can still, Grandma and Grandpa are nice. I mean, not that I still like drugs, but
I know, and I do understand that, but that's not the point. They should have known me. They should have heard me. If I was so fucked up and I was so high, I should have been somebody else. I've always been me, have I not?
Yeah.
Okay? Don't people change when they do drugs? Isn't that one of the telltales?
Well, it was hard to tell when you talk.
At the beginning. But I was also terrified, wasn't I?
Yeah, that one day I stayed up all night because I was scared.
But wasn't I terrified for my life? I mean, isn't anybody going to be a little different then?
Yeah. But it was hard to understand too, that's why.
But Papa and I talked all night one night too. Or that night. Papa and I stayed up before I called you. You know, I talked to him prior to that. Papa actually took the time even since then to write down the names of the cops that were involved. He believed me enough to write down their names. But he didn't believe me enough to have my back?
What was that stuff to do with Bobby?
Huh?
Did Bobby say anything to anybody?
Bobby, I know Bobby's behind this. And I question if it, and me and Tom have talked a few times since then. I almost wonder if this whole thing hasn't been in the works since the day I met Bobby. But this whole, I believe this is a racket they've had for years. I'm not the first victim, Tammy, by any sense of the word.
Way before? When Bobby was with
I believe that Bobby's been in the works of this for a long time. I had a friend.
his father?
Huh?
You sure Bobby's the baby's father?
Oh, I know he's the baby's father. But I know he's involved in this. I only cheated on Bobby with one person. And I cheated on Bobby with that same person for 3 years.
I know. It's a backstory.
Yeah, but I was already pregnant with Ariel when that happened. But I questioned even if Chris isn't involved. Chris knew who Tim was. Chris called him Timmy B. Chris knew about Tim's ex-wife, Annette Garza, which is the same last name of the girl that was living with Mike, or working for Mike, Angelica Garza, that I asked for prayers for everybody for.
What I'm saying is, Bobby was behind us, he knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Possibility that he was allowing them to have sex to do this when you were with him.
No, I don't think that he was that confident then. I don't think he was that cocky then. I think it was all a setup. And maybe that's the whispering I heard back then. Or way in the beginning when we were high. But I didn't hear the whispering all the time. And Ariel does have Bobby's body. But that would be interesting to have a paternity test force. Maybe you should question that to the lady when you talk to her. Because I do believe, you know Bobby's a snake, but it needs to come from somebody other than me. Because the more that it comes from me, the more desperate I seem. The more that I'm just pushing and begging and psycho and da-da-da-da. If other people are pushing, saying, wait a second, I know my niece, I know my granddaughter, I know these things. This isn't her, something is happening to her, please help her. We're too far away to do anything. That makes a difference. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am nothing here by myself. But if my team rallies from behind me from afar, boy, that sure does make me look a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're begging for help from people that are here because you can't help me because you're so far away and you can't afford to be there, it's a hell of a lot different cry than the psychotic drug addict mother that's begging for somebody to believe her, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that pathetic? But Tammy, God gave me this because He knew I was going to change it. God gave me this because He knew I was strong enough to do it. This wouldn't be on my shoulders otherwise. There's something that's going to change for other women because of this. You know? This is going to set a new precedent. Because how many other women have lost their kids because of these people?
Well, I don't know if it works like Titanic, but Titanic gets a lot of money from the state.
Oh, I know Bobby's getting paid for my kid. And I know he's brainwashing my kid. And my kids are always wearing new clothes and new things. Ariel actually even got mad at her dad one day because she always wore the same outfit when she came to see me because it was blue and it had a unicorn. And it made her think of her mommy. She was mad at her daddy because he wouldn't let her wear it. That's how much my little girl loves me.
That cool outfit she had on, what was that?
What, the one in the picture? That's the one. That's the one. And it makes her think of her mommy.
So they done their hair a little bit better?
I hate her hair. It's nothing.
Her hair was terrible.
In that picture, I know. That's not how I do my daughter's hair. My daughter would have looked like a young lady, not a dorky little kid. No, I would have done my daughter would have probably even had colored hair, and she would have looked cute, and she would have looked fun. Instead of some little dork. I'm sorry, she reminds me of Nick. You know me, I'm not that mom. Everything I never had.
Yeah, I mean, she looks just like, you know what, you said that she's got Bobby's body. She looks fine. She looks just like Rhea.
Yeah, but Rhea has dad's blood in her. Where do you think she got the skinny body from? It wasn't from our chunky asses. It wasn't from grandma who could butt herself in the back of the fucking head. Ariel's got her daddy's body. But she's got my genes all day, and he was pissed about it. He even held her up to his other kids' pictures, trying to see her in them, and could not. All he could see was me, and it pissed him off. Because he was hoping he got another little girl. He was hoping he got to spread his seed. And my seed was stronger than his. Just like every other part of me versus him.
He was the father?
No, he is the father. He wanted his gene. He wanted to make another mini him. Because his little girl, his other little girl, Lakota, looks just like him. He was thinking he got to do that again. But our genes are so strong that it kicked his right out the fucking park. We got... Yeah, we all got some strong ass genes though. It's obvious we're all family. Obviously, if Ella looks like me, and I look nothing like Victoria, in my opinion, but obviously we must. right? She's stunning. She's gorgeous. I mean, I don't look like that, but I know I'm good looking in my ways. I know I'm short and I'm curvy. I got the fucking or the knockery ass.
You.
Huh?
You.
What?
Ella looks a lot like you.
That's what I said. That's what I mean, though. That I don't look like Tori.
No.
But we got strong ass genes. Our family is obviously family. We obviously are very, very genetically tight.
Ashley looks like her mom.
Yep. And Rhea looks like a cross of Mom and Vittoria.
Oh yeah, because sometimes I look at your mom. Oh my god.
And then other times I look at her and I see Tori. Yep.
But the time but Katarina was tiny for a long time too.
Katarina has her dad, though, in her, too. I see a lot of Russ in Caddy. She does have Russ in her. So does Zach. You can see that they got Russ in them. But Russ also got Stephen King's genes, I think.
Stephen King?
Yesterday, somebody said something to take a flying fuck at a rolling donut. I said, no. It's taking aerial intercourse at a rotating perforated pastry. You remember that?
It'd be nice if Bobby was the father, because then you could see who they are.
Well, maybe you should suggest that there would be a paternity test. Maybe you should suggest, based off of you thinking about these things. Do you see what I'm saying? If you say that you heard this tape and that I have felt these things and you got to thinking about those things, she is a superior to my worker and her superior. Whatever this lady that I sent you that text message says, they have to do. Do you see what I'm saying?
What was the lady I talked to before?
I don't know, but I don't think it's the same one. You'll know. I'm not going to say anything out loud. You got to remember, I'm watched all the time, Tammy. They could be within earshot. They can have... I'm not disclosing that name to anybody because I'm not letting it get fucked with. And the only way that they can... And see, they would have to get into this computer to even get that email that I sent you. All the emails that I send you from that name, they would have to access this computer physically to do so. So, that is a 100% secure as of this moment. They can pair my phone and yada yada yada, but I haven't used my phone for that email. That email is attached to a desktop. And all of the email correspondence I've had with that lady are through the desktop. So I'm intentionally not saying her name.
Okay. One lady I talked to, though, she said you gave her permission to talk to me, so.
Yeah, and that possibly was from the governor's office. And I've also sent them a copy of my rape. Governor Steve Bullock is our governor. So you're...
Should I try to help you? Get some help.
But see, they're looking at it from a mental health too. A lot of people are questioning my mental health right now. They think that I'm off. They think there's something wrong with me. They're concerned that I'm afraid for nothing. I need a voice from somewhere else that's saying, look, I am afraid for my niece because of what I heard. I'm afraid for my granddaughter. I'm afraid for my friend. They're not hearing those voices. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I'm not embarrassed that I sent that out. I'm embarrassed that I have to ask anybody to listen to that about me. I'm embarrassed to have to say, please listen to somebody violate me. I'm not embarrassed about what they did to me. Because I didn't ask for that and I didn't want it. I'm embarrassed.
I'm so worried about Gaetano, because Gaetano stays with him. Still not anything.
And I don't want my little boy being like those people. What mother would? What good mother would? I want to read you one more. I want to read you what I wrote about Mike, and I want your opinion. Just because I want validation that I'm doing the right thing, because I feel so good about this. And my one friend even told me, he goes, regardless of what chapter your book ends on, you need to end it on chapter 69. Right? I told him, just for you I will, because that's some funny shit. You're right. I should. It says, chapter 5, not my brother, not my brother. My big little brother and I are a year apart. We shared a lot of things in common. We were very close to our prior to our parents' marriage. I do mean very close. Or I do mean it when I say we were very close. Closer than brothers and sisters should be. We weren't brother and sisters in the beginning. We were friends that played together. We shared friends, toys, and other things. We played house, if you get my drift. It was so gross after our parents got married, realizing that my now brother, then friend, had touched my girl parts. One of my many Joe Dirt moments in my life. Sorry, bro. You know I ain't lying. We weren't in the wrong. We aren't fortune tellers nor psychics. How could we have predicted our parents bumping uglies? It's not possible. Nonetheless, an you moment in life. My brother was one of my best friends, my most trusted allies. We shared a lot of adventures. We protected each other. Even though he was mad at me and felt emasculated because of it. I even called a kid that sucker punched him after getting off the bus one day. He was a preppy rich kid. I made it very clear he was not to touch my brother again. It pissed me off. That was my little bro. It actually mellowed a lot of shit out between our groups making that call. In my book, you don't fuck with my family. My brother has had my back through the years better than anyone. He built my confidence to this day on my mechanical skills. If no one could figure it out, he would tell them to give it to me. He knew I would fix it, and he is a mechanic. It warms my heart incredibly. I love him with so much of me he cannot possibly fathom. He taught me so much, good and bad. He was severely unhinged as a kid. He got his shit together as an adult, and I am very proud of him. As a kid, he was wild and out of control. He really bordered on crazy. I told him that I was writing this, and he tried to tell me there was a lot about him that I didn't know from back then. He forgot, I guess, how close we were. He is probably one of the only people I have lied for and or to protect. He is nowhere near what he used to be. I'm actually shocked by the transformation. It gives me hope about my son and the man he may become if that is what he so chooses to become. When he was younger, he was diagnosed with ADHD. He was extremely violent with his mother. He chased her around the house with a knife one time. He was abusive to his sister. He even slashed our mom's tires. He never even thought about raising me. One day he even told me to punch him as hard as I could wherever I wanted. His dumb ass stood up as I pulled back. And I'm not sure how long it took him to retrieve his testicles, but Ma nicknamed him Iron Balls that night. I'm very strong for being as small as I am. Almost too strong, for any man anyway. I had to defend myself at a very young age. I had to learn how to be tough. My brother wanted to put it to the test. Remember, he is my big little brother. He resembles Shrek as the human version, although he definitely had the ogre attitude down for faux show as a teenager. I highly doubt he would disagree. Some of my favorite memories of my brother are from before my best summer. Others are after, but most of them came from that year. We were teenagers. I had just ended my first year of high school, and he was about to begin. We had so many mutual friends, and even more that we didn't share. Enough to separate our lifestyles and choices drastically. My main interest involved boys. He was into cars big time. While I was getting fucked, he was fucking over dealerships and car hoods in the hood. While I was being bad staying out all night, he was being bad parking cars in living rooms. While I was smoking pot, he was doing cocaine and many other drugs. We were even so close that while I was locked away, he was dating my ex-husband's little sister without knowing he was doing so. She is the one who put it together.
Shelly?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I gotta do it quick edit. I had to be the responsible one. Oh, second edit. Reading it out loud helps you. I had a job to do. My parents were counting on me to be there so that they could pay the bills. I am still the same. I take my responsibility seriously. It took a while, but he is actually better about it than me now in some facets. My brother looked out for me many times to the best of his ability. One night I came home past my curfew, pissed my pants drunk, literally. Although I actually believe I was wearing some boys' boxers, so they weren't really my pants. He gave me 2 slices of bread with butter on them, 2 aspirin, and a beer mug full of water. And I recall this because I probably would have been fucked if it wouldn't have had a handle. I remember laying on my cold bedroom floor that night with a horrible case of the spins, being thankful that my floor was cold. Not how I felt about it in the winter, I would like to add. He didn't rat me out, and I didn't get caught. I knew we would always be there for each other until our dying days. I love you, bro. Swear to God, you are my rock, and were from that moment on. He lost his virginity in my bed to my then best friend. She was not the tall, red-headed wild child. It was this other girl. She and I were friends before that. I had the biggest crush on her brother, and for the first time ever, I skipped school the year prior. It was for this girl's brother. It wasn't even because I wanted to be a bad girl. It was because he was on house arrest and planning on running away. I didn't want him to go. I wanted to help him make the right choice so he didn't get sent away, and I would lose him forever. Sadly, that is exactly what happened, and I have often missed that person that I remember, Mr. Slicky Rick, or Slicky Ricky. Now, and see, I'm not using names on purpose. Avoid lawsuit. Now, the only reason my brother was on my bed instead of his own is because my bedroom had a shutting door. His did not. While I had a tiny yet long bedroom, he had a wide open space. The wide open space was right underneath my parents' room. My brother took care of me. It was only fair and right that I did that for him, right? Plus, it was prearranged deal since he stood guard while his best friend got to eat some cooter for the first time out of pity for the poor dorky kid. He didn't do a horrible job at it either, if I recall correctly. My favorite of my brother's friends is definitely Boner. And don't get me wrong, Post and Oates were cool kids, but they weren't Boner. Damn, I miss that kid. Just had to look him up on Facebook. It has been so long since we talked. He's looking damn good, I might add. And single. Meow. Probably not going to happen, though, realistically. There hasn't been much luck with ghost of boners from the past, either. But one can wonder, and masturbate later. Ha! I'm sure he used to use me, I'm sure he used me as material many times as a teenager. It's only fair. Gotta even the score somehow. Anyway, anyone that knows me knows that I hate scary movies. And I'm not exaggerating when I use the word hate. I have such vivid dreams. I wake up crying and feeling like it was real. So that being said, I was convinced by my bro and Boner to watch number 5 in the Freddy saga. Side note, his niece went to school with us. She was a very quiet and reserved girl. There's no way you would have expected that he was her uncle. It's almost ironic that this is the first horror film that made it all the way through, not only because of the premise of only attacking in someone's dreams, but because Dream was in the title. I remember burying my face in Boner's chest and stomach every time it got really scary for me. I bet I gave him a hopeful boner every time I did it too. Now that I understand men, I realize how much torture that must have been on that poor innocent boy. He almost got laid that night. Again, the nice guy finishes last. What a shame I was so stupid in so many ways as a kid. For whatever reason, my brother and him don't speak anymore, and it's not my business, but it does make me sad for them. Maybe someday they can remember the good times in the past and get past that before it's too late. They were too close to each other to lose. They were too close to lose each other over little things life throws our way. In hindsight, we can all do something different. Love and friendship are hard to come by nowadays. Real love and real friendship, anyway. Fake ones are always readily available. There are so many memories of the fun we had as a family too. That summer, at my dad's, my summer at my dad's was filled with laughter, growth, acceptance, and love. I remember my brother was way featherlicious back then. Clothes super big and extra baggy and on an already big boy. Hold on. Edit quick. Our sister and I once put on his pants. Together. 2 girls. 1 pair of designer blue, white, and black striped jeans. Well, of course we had to show off our clownish-like production. My brother was not thrilled. Our parents thought it was hilarious. There aren't enough words that I can use to express the loyalty that I have for to my brother. I was just faced with the worst summer in my life, and he is one of the only people I turn to. He would have helped me too, his way. Edit quick. Hang on 1 second. Oh, goddamn. Work with me. Thank you. That is not the help I thought I needed at the time. His way would have been quicker. It would have spared me a lot of pain. But his way also would not have allowed me to gain the knowledge that I have right now of the majorly sick shit that is happening here. His way would have spared my body, heart, and soul in the long run. It would not have allowed me to gain the intel that I have to hopefully spare other women from the pain I felt. He would have helped save me. So I love my brother. I would die for my brother. He is an angel on earth for me. I hope he never forgets just how much I love him and how dark my world would be without him. Dark past, full of drugs, thievery, or not, he and I are the only two my dad shunned. We are the 2 he loved enough to give us his name without his seed. We love that man for giving us that gift. We both hurt when his current wife took that away. He doesn't forgive Dad like I do. Quick editing error, or editing. All my dad wanted was to be loved. His wife doesn't like us and our past. She doesn't have a clue what we went through. I don't hate my dad for needing to think of his future in his heart. I don't feel the same resentment for him bailing on us as adults. I just miss my daddy. Every day, really. I know my brother does too. He just has to be a man about it. I get it. We all process our grief differently. He loves us, bro. He really does. Know that in your heart. I know our dad. When she isn't around, he cries for us. He longs for us. He prays for us. We will always be in his heart. Nobody can take that away from us. His heart is too big and too kind to just forget what we meant to him. He knows what he meant to us. That's all I got so far. You think I'm going to be okay on this?
Yeah. Are you put Jake Marie in there too?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, see, but they're kind of going in with mom and that aspect. I'm kind of leading up to the real, yeah. This is, yeah, I just went through the summer and I live with that. They don't deserve to call themselves a child. Hmm?
He wanted to do the eulogy.
Right?
And I don't think he had any right.
I don't know. Why don't you think he had a right?
Because your mom come to town and I didn't go.
Mom hurt us really bad though, Tammy. You gotta remember that.
Not so much example, but anything to her.
Huh?
He does a lot of things to your mom, too.
Don't you think that some of it was a payback? I'm not justifying any of their actions. But like what I said, like what I've
I started to box in the garage, and it did, you know.
but he's owning some of that. That was him trying to forgive himself for the things he put mom through. And he was recognizing, he,
Well, most people can't do the eulogy for their mother, you know, being the minister or whatever. So we just,
I think that it was good for Jake and important for Jake. I think he needed that for him to be able to be the minister he is now. I think he needed to forgive himself and be able to express that in front of a bunch of people, what he put mom through.
one is sit on the thing. If any, by the way, we like to mention Debbie Mullen. Not that we like to, you know, my mother, Debbie Mullen, who's up in heaven. You know, my mom. That was his mom. Not by the way.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
That was his mom. This guy is supposed to be a religious person. And to me, he's not.
Oh, Jake is too. He's very religious. But what his idea of God, and like I told Tom today, because Tom doesn't believe in reincarnation. Tom doesn't believe the same way that I do. And I told him, because he's a landscaper, so you got to put it in his perspective. I said, or gardener, or whatever. And Tom's a teacher too, so you got to be able to give a teacher an education. And I said to him, I said, Tom, I said, just because, I said a rose called anything other than a rose is still a rose, right? And how you tend that rose is different from garden to garden. So regardless of what your religious beliefs are, the point is you're tending to them. I tend to my beliefs differently than you tend to yours. That doesn't make your belief any stronger or weaker than mine. It just makes it different. We still get a yield. We still get something from it. He just tends his religious beliefs differently than mine. I don't read the fucking book. He's got 2 Bibles sitting right behind me. I won't read that fucking book to save my life. Well, maybe to save my life. But I don't pick it up. Because I think it's a piece of shit book. I think it was written by men to scare women and children into doing what men wanted them to do. I think it's a chauvinistic, cruel book that makes you afraid of somebody that loves us. I don't ever want to be afraid of God. I don't ever want to be afraid of Jesus. And I don't think that makes me a bad person.
Remember when you didn't believe in him?
Yep.
We went with your father,
Yep.
and everything just kind of laid right in the spot.
No, what made me believe in God again was Eric dying, Sparky being murdered. I had just started to read a book before that by Sylvia Brown called Life on the Other Side. And it expressed grief and it expressed sorrow, and it said how we have to go through those things to appreciate the things that are in front of us. And I didn't understand how a mother could bury a child. And I didn't understand, like, 9/11 happened 3 days before my fucking high school reunion. It happened 3 months after Eric was slaughtered. I was having such a hard time grasping all of it. And I read that book, and Eric came from the other side. And he's still my angel, Tammy. That man that rode around in an old tight coupe car in your backyard, Nick pushing him, is my angel.
I remember what happened to him.
He was murdered over meth.
Over meth?
Yep. And they dumped his lifeless body at the bottom of a mountain. They ripped out his fingernails. They burned him with a blowtorch. They mutilated him. They could only identify him by his dental records. He was so bad.
Where was that?
In Idaho.
Idaho?
Yep. And him and Mom are my angels. And there's even a video that my buddy watched from at his house, because I knew I was being stalked even at his house. I talked to Papa. I was being stalked by a cop. And I was on the phone with Papa. As soon as I said out loud that I was going to James, magically that cop drove off. I sat 45 minutes in the same place because I knew that Bobby didn't pay my car insurance and I didn't want a ticket. And I knew that that cop was stalking me. And I knew if I drove off, with that cop sitting there, I was going to get pulled over. So I sat on the phone with Papa in a gas station parking lot for 40-something fucking minutes talking to him. As soon as I said I was going to James, that cop basically, it was 3 minutes or less, and that cop drove off. I go to James's house, and that night, each floor of that place was infiltrated by somebody. So much so that a man climbed up into his roommate's bed, or a female, excuse me, climbed up into his roommate's bed pretending to be me. I am no longer allowed inside the house. I can visit James when Steven's at work, but I have to stay outside. Steven is so scared of me because of what they did to me. My buddy James, my crazy James. James used to come visit me every weekend. I'd pick him up on Friday nights. My dog Leroy that I have upstairs right now actually came from James's. And that's where we lived when after my trailer fire. That's how I met James. It was the guy that sold me my trailer, rented me a place after the trailer fire happened. And then I got to be really close to James. And James and I maintained a friendship for years. We're still friends. We're 2 days apart to the year. He was born November 5th on the 7th. He was born in Michigan. I was born in Iowa. We are Michigan or Illinois. Either way, we're pretty fucking close. Anyway, 2 days, 2 states, 3 states, whatever. We are a hop, skip, and a jump away from each other. And he's got paranoid delusional schizophrenic. He is fucked up in his head. And he told me at one point when this first started, he was the only person that was willing to believe me. He was the only person willing to spend the night at my house. He was the only person willing to stand by my side. And he said to me, he's like, Jazz, I'm fucked up in my head, and I know I am, but what you're living is real. And I know my life ain't going to amount to shit, but yours will. I'm about to go down there and sacrifice myself so you can have a normal life.
And Bobby knows that he's crazy. Bobby knows nobody will believe him because he's schizophrenic. Bobby knows he's one of the only people that would do anything for me. And Bobby fucked with that. And all of a sudden, and I kept saying people were in the furniture. All of a sudden, out of the blue, somebody gave Steven a recliner. And I kept saying they were in my recliners. Magically, Steven's got a recliner. And I go spend the night at Steven's house. And I can hear shit on every level. I go up to the bathroom, and the one room in the place that's empty has a light on. But somebody goes and climbs into bed with Steven. And the whole night I'm downstairs, literally 2 floors down with James, because I got scared being on the middle floor by myself. So I went to go sleep with on the floor, the basement in my friend's house. And my friend sees 2 orbs in the video flying around. Eric and Eric and Mom were with me. Sparky and Mom were with me. In almost every video that I've watched, I see at least 1 orb. Mom or Eric are almost always with me. One of the 2, if not both of them. But if I express that too much to people, then I'm crazy. But you're supposed to believe in God. You're supposed to have faith. Well, it was literally beat into me, spanked into me by my grandfather. You're supposed to go to church. You're supposed to worship. You're supposed to believe. But because I have a belief, and because I'm proud of my belief, and because I vocalize my belief, I'm somehow crazy. It seems like a double-edged sword that I can't win. Well, if Grandma got to feel Mom, she would. And I bet you, if Grandma was listening, Mama's been there a time or 2. It's what? You know why? Because she's got guilt. Oh, she's got guilt. She wears that guilt. She doesn't know how to deal with that guilt. You don't talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, it didn't really happen. And that's something our family is fucking infamous for. If we don't talk about it, it wasn't real. Huh? Oh, I believe it. Yeah, he may have visited me, but I wasn't as close to him as you were. So I may have overlooked it or not felt it.
My closet has been out. Has moved a long time. It moved.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then, with your mom, I went on my way trying to find her, the burden.
Yeah.
And I had heard it was,
Yeah, that would have been Mom.
yeah, it was her talking all by itself on top of the birdcage.
Yep, that would have been Mom. Because she loved the gremlins. Oh.
Yeah, Grandma Furby, by the way.
Yep. See, and people overlook those things. And Tammy, I know I'm an old soul. I know I've been around since caveman days. I know I am ashamed of humanity and disgusted by it. Because what I'm going through is not what God intended for us. This isn't what He wanted for us. He wanted us to love each other. He wanted us to be there for each other. He wanted us to support each other, and we're not doing that. We're letting each other down, and ourselves in the end. And I know He's trying to help me, but I also know that He can only do so much, and I know I can only do so much alone. You know? I've been doing it for 6 months and I'm not getting anywhere alone. But I also have to distance myself from so many people because I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's really in it for me.
Hey, have little lie detector test.
What?
Lie detector test.
Fuck, dude, I'm telling you, I would. If I thought it would make a difference. But people are good, Tammy. And then it takes the little things, like, I was sitting there, and Mike had said something about, if you even accuse me once, we're done. And I was like, cool, I got that. And then something happened, and I don't recall what it was, and I looked around and I realized how many necklaces were around, and how many I had lost. How many rings were around, and the fact that I'm missing one. How many keys were hanging up, and how many times I went through the key thing. And I went, huh. Okay. And then I had issue over my trailer and my hot tub with several different people. Well, then all of a sudden now he's got my hot tub because I thought I was being nice. I thought I was doing something for somebody that really loved me, so I gave him my hot tub. He still currently has my hot tub, which he can have, but I want my fucking trailer that it was on. But I can't get a truck to help me get it, and the cops can't stop me from getting it. But I don't have any money to pay for a fucking tow truck to get it. And I can't tow it off without fucking lights and plates. So it actually has to be physically towed, not just behind a truck. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I run into the people that towed Patrick's car or truck, whatever, for the finance company. And I've known those people for years, since I was with Bobby. There's this chick, Carissa, that I have known for years, technically prior to me meeting Bobby, but she's the one who hid Bobby for 4 days when I was alone after the fire with a broken hand in the Airstream. And she admitted to hiding Bobby while I was alone with a broken hand in the Airstream after the fire.
Okay, wait a minute. Bobby left right after the fire?
Shortly after Nona and Papa came to visit us, Bobby took off for 4 days. He was completely MIA. Completely MIA. Not a single word, because we were having fights. Because we were fighting. So, and then he drove off, and as he was going to drive off, I punched the Airstream window, and he watched me punch it, and I broke my hand. And he watched me drop. And
What's Airstream?
huh?
What's the Airstream?
The camper we were living in, the silver Twinkie.
Okay, I know. Oh.
Okay. Well, so we were living in a silver Twinkie after that happened. And he took off for 4 days. And I swear to God, I didn't get a fuck you for 4 days. Not a word. Exactly what I'm going through now. He won't even respond to any of my texts. Everything is similar to back then. I can go through. And this isn't me being paranoid. This isn't me, overthinking it. This is actual accounts of real events. And this is what he did. And she admitted that she hit him. Then right before this happens, she magically appears back in my life again. Out of the blue. And I was so excited to see her. I'm just like, wow. And I didn't even think about it. Then after I left Mike, she also said, so what's going on with your life? But she hasn't answered any of my other texts. I didn't fucking answer her. I, as a matter of fact, blocked her. Because I put it together. And these are people that are really fucked up and dope. There was a point where when Bobby was missing for those days, she gave me a huge rock of dope to last me. And right before this whole thing with Mike gave me a bag of dope that I got rid of. I fucking flushed it. But I made him think that I had it, and that's where that video came through that night. That you seen, that you heard the mails? Because that same day, Mike had given me dope, or the day before. I can't even remember. Because it wasn't that important, because I didn't care about the fucking dope. I cared about the aftermath of them thinking I was high. Because that's what they were playing on. They were playing on the fact that every time I got high, they got to do these things. Well, I took the dope, and let him think I was getting high, I got rid of it and played along. Because I don't want the dope. I've been sober for I don't even know how long that I know of. Since before the hotel for sure.
Why don't you go under the drug test?
Right now because I'm denied my kids. And she took away my kids without any good reason. I'm standing my ground right now fighting because I'm not going to jump through their fucking hoops when they won't even give me my visits. And they took them away for no reason. I didn't want to wear a patch, a drug patch, big old fucking patch. That the only two places I could wear it are my abdomen or my shoulders when I wore a sports bra and short shorts for work. And I own my own company. I'm outside. Uh-huh.
Patch with that.
Drug patch for, basically when you would sweat, it absorbs your sweat and then registers your drug levels. I told her the whole time I was being drugged. I expressed to her the whole time. And when you hear that video, listen. Tell me if, I don't know how many drugs you've ever done in your life, but if you've even done one line, tell me if you can't hear them doing a line. Because I know I can.
No, I've never been to that.
Well, think about when you got the sniffles. Listen for that. Hmm? But that's that the sound or is them doing drugs. It's them taking a straw and snorting up a line. And if you hear that's them chopping it up.
Oh, shit.
Now you get it, don't you? They were really close to where my recording device was, and they didn't realize that they were being recorded, so they weren't being sly about it. They didn't have any. Since then, there's been equipment that's buffered my sounds. There's been equipment that has killed my fucking video. I have yet to have my Facebook Live back. It just quit working. That day, it quit working. Hasn't worked since. Funny, huh? Yep.
Well, Facebook Live is new, so they might have to close it.
But didn't it work fine until I went to sleep?
They cut out.
It had glitches maybe, but it worked fine until I went to sleep, right?
You gotta lay down and cover your stuff.
And then it was done. And I have yet to get it back since that day. And their tech geek was in the motel room next to me. Memory Kessel. Memory space Kessel. She used to have black hair. She bleached it blonde. She had the same brown chocolate lab that she had before when she was in a hotel room when I was buying dope from her, and she ran herself over with her own fucking truck.
How'd you do that?
She fucking went to go back in to get her purse or something, I don't know, but she ran herself over with her fucking truck, needless to say. Or so she said. I say it's karma.
Oh, that's not.
Huh?
Oh, it wasn't a stick that you got out of the car.
No, it was automatic. It was automatic, but I don't think she had it in gear. I did it once with Bobby's Suburban. I didn't have it all the way into the park, and I was delivering pizzas, and I hopped out to go bring the pizza, and I was in reverse, and I was headed towards the showroom floor. And it was really hard to hop back up into that Suburban with a pizza in my fucking hand and get it in fucking park, or hit the brakes and put it in park before I hit that fucking window. And the whole time, the people inside the store laughing their ass off at me. True story. It's just nice to hear somebody believe in me. Oh, hey, did you know Steve Fry's mom died?
What happened?
She's had Parkinson's, I guess, 3 years, and she had a throat. Well, see, but you know what's ironic? It's the very first time I ever had bread pudding. I had it at her place for Christmas. This year for Christmas, I made bread pudding for the first time in my life. Fuck, mine was to die for. I used Fireball whiskey for a sauce. Which I'm drinking right now, by the way. I drink more than I should, but I still don't drink enough to fuck me up. I what?
We have 4 crabs and with our goldfish.
Oh.
We have cosmos, 3 goldfish, and 4 crabs. Mr. and Mrs. Crab. So what are their names? Mr. Crab, Mr. Crab, Crabberhead, Patrick, and SpongeBob.
Oh, that's funny.
Our fish are Tigger, the one with the stripes, and then Callie and Nemo, and then Paw Patrol is the
That's fucking funny.
These fish are big. It's funny. Every once in a while, a crab will jump on, one block will fit on the fish.
That's fucking funny.
The first crab we got was 2 of them. It was Mr. and Mrs. Crab. One was the little teeny one, and the bigger one. She took off. We got out of the cake.
Yeah, they do. Crabs are bad for that.
Well, so now what I do is I cover the cake with like a potty pad, hold it, and sit on top, so that it touches down. And so I haven't had anybody run away now. Little girl died. The boy was gone. I mean, this big crab was missing. It was out for a good week. All of a sudden, I'm feeding the fish. I look down, a big crab. Claws, big, big. And I got him and tried to put him in there, and he jumped off and flew off the dresser and he was alive, and then I got him, and then he died.
Oh, shit.
2 of us left. One around the house.
That's funny.
These guys are pretty good, man. I got some bones and there's some pretty good hair. You go up with they're little snags with one. I like to a little bit bigger house. Those are spoiled. They said they're sold off the plastic. I have got little plants in there too. But then have a straight one.
Yeah, all my fish always ate the real plants.
What'd you say?
All my fish always ate the real plants.
They can eat it. I mean, I'll get one. But
Yeah, well, when you're poor, that's not necessarily an option.
well, there's maximum. You can see them broccoli and I've got ones that you can, but now I bought shrimp pellet, but goldfish eat it, because I guess you recycle it.
There you go. That's a way to look at it.
It was a shrimp, it was a shrimp and crab.
Oh, fuck. I'm about to go to bed. You need to go to bed, too. It's like 12:30, Tammy.
I know. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm not here. Love ya.
I love you, too. Seriously, thank you for everything, and I'm sorry to be a pain, but I need help. Hey, and the more help I get, you realize that I've got an amazing lawsuit in the end of this. I am going to be a rich bitch if I get the right help. And I promise you I pay it forward. That doesn't mean you're not going to end up in the mountains off the grid. Hey, we won't have to worry about Trump's dumbass.
I actually like Trump better than Hillary. Hillary's a murderer.
Well, I didn't go for Hillary either. Well, no, I did actually vote for her. I take that back. I did vote for her because I knew she was the lesser of the two evils. And it was a phrase that Tom says that stuck out. You go with the devil that you do know as opposed to the devil that you don't.
Yeah, but
Right?
she would just want more immigrants in here too. That's not, we don't need no more.
No, and we don't need any more, but Trump's going to kill our economy. Trump's going to make it a crime to be poor.
No, I think our medical will be back to being okay. My medical's outdated now. Okay, Obama.
Yeah, but thanks to Obama, I can get dentures. I couldn't have before. And if I don't hurry up, I'm not going to be able to.
Well, I need to do what I do.
Well, I've got an appointment on Thursday for my wax fitting for the top. I'm working on getting dentures. I'm fucking maybe 40 years old with fake fucking teeth. But I always joke that I'm going to be the sexiest bitch in Billings giving gummers.
You let all those immigrants in, they get free health and, you know, they get free everything and 7 years
Hey.
taxes.
But wasn't our grandmother and your mother an immigrant? Or my mother and your grandmother? Or, yeah, you know what I meant. That.
Your mother, yeah.
Wasn't
My
your...
mother came over here, she was married to an American citizen. My great-grandfather had to sign for her to come here.
I agree.
Mother became a citizen. And my mother didn't have to pay taxes. What's going on right now is ridiculous. The old women are nasty. The Mongolians. And the other ones, I kind of like the other girl. Well, the guy asked me, I've had two nice guys. Both guys, they walk on me.
Well, I agree. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not. I'm just going to say that you're not necessarily right either. Because we came from immigrants. Our country was founded on immigration. Our country was stolen from the Native Americans by immigrants. We don't have a right living that life and getting that freedom complaining that there's other people who want it as well.
Yeah, but they showed us a video, I don't know if you saw it, where this lady was getting all this free, or getting pop on food stamps, and she had 2 carts just full of all this pop. She was taking it to her store and selling it. So she was getting it free, and the guy who was taking it, he was a lawyer for social services, or whatever, government, and he was taking pictures and asking her what are you going to do with it. And she said, well, I can buy pop with food stamps. And she said, fuck America.
I buy pop.
Like, well, get the fuck out of our country. You know?
Right.
And if you're not going to become American citizen, then they need to leave.
No, and
Because of all this, you know. Like, there was a guy that was Muhammad or whatever that was running loose and stabbing people in big crowds at the mall. And, Nick has a friend whose wife is Italian. And she covered the case with everybody has the right to believe the way they want to believe, fine. But, you know, that was wrong to do that for my, you know, kid.
Well, all I'm saying is, like I said before, a garden tended any other way is still a garden. And the rose in that garden, regardless of how it's being tended, is still a rose. So everybody's belief, and God called by any other name, is still God. Allah, fucking Buddha, whatever the belief is, the point is that you believe. And that, at the end of the day, is all God wants. He doesn't care what we call him. He doesn't care what our belief system is. The point is that we believe and that we love. And we love each other and we nurture each other and we help each other grow. And we have not been doing that as a race, as a society, as a group. We are all about the individual anymore, and that is not what he wants us to be.
Jake, he said something and wrote down a lot of things that happened to him this year, you know, and I told him Happy New Year, but no, he never returns anything I say, nothing. So it's almost like I'm worthless years, you know.
Right.
He didn't call me and tell me he had a new baby. And it's like, I think that I'm owed that on his aunt. You know?
No, don't give up on him. I'm gonna send him a message probably tomorrow. I'll wait till I can do it in the right words without any alcohol in my system. I'm gonna reach out to my brother because he needs to know I'm writing this too, and he needs everybody that's a part of it that I think of is getting a little shout out beforehand saying, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm writing this, you're gonna be a part of it. I'm not using your name, but I just want you to know. You know, if they have an objection, they have an opportunity to say something in advance. You know what I
Say it
mean?
now.
Huh?
Say it now.
Yeah. You know, and they can't come back at me and say anything later. Exactly. And I'm not using any names. So the only way that anybody will know it's somebody I'm talking about is if they were close enough to that individual to know. You know? And Mike, when I told Mike that I was going to write the book, all he could say is, oh no, there's so much you don't know. And I did. I knew. Mike and I talked all the time. He was my best friend. I protected him. He protected me. I knew he was up to no good. And he just didn't remember because he was so fucking high, obviously, that he told me those things. I remember the box of hood ornaments. You know? Mikey made me proud that I pulled my hood ornament off of Nellie when I signed her or handed her over for demolition destruction. I had that fucking hood ornament forever too. And I love you, Tammy. I'm gonna go pass out with my dogs because they've missed me. They were so happy that they got their mom back. And I need to go snuggle with them. And I don't want to sleep all day tomorrow like I did today. I didn't get up till 10 today. I hate that. I feel like I've been sleeping my life away the last few months.
When do you work?
It's part-time. I worked 12 hours yesterday, 11 and a half. And then I won't work again now until Friday. But I like my new boss a lot. Although he looks like a version of Tim, which is really fucking with me sometimes. Because I really see a lot of Tim in him. I'll look over and it's like, ooh, I have to remember that's Dan. That's not Tim. I mean, he's a really cool guy. Really funny. Really lighthearted. Huh?
That's good you found a job and decent place to live and maybe you can get the kids and
This is my year, Tammy, and I feel it. It's just a lot of hurt.
I miss holding my babies. You know, I know we're made in pairs, and I miss having a partner. I miss having a pair. And I was so hung up on getting that love that I forgot that I had all the love I needed. I never took it for granted. I just didn't realize that was all the love I needed. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was what I needed. In hindsight, it's always 2020.
Keep clean and make your kids up.
Dude, I am clean. I ain't got shit to worry about that department.
That's good.
I don't even have any friends. Tom made it very clear to me I cannot use in his house. I don't care. I didn't want to. I wasn't planning on it. All I want's my kids, and I can't get my kids and be high at the same time. It's just not a possibility.
Good job.
No, it was nothing for me to quit. It was cold turkey. It was cold turkey. I don't care about dope. I cared about doing right. I cared about being what my kids needed me to be and moving forward with life. And I was sitting in idle prior to it. And then I got bed bugs, and I was really fucked, and nobody would help me. And I was only one person already working 12 to 16 hours a day. I didn't have a lot of other time to give. You know? And I was literally, at the point that I got the bed bugs, I counted it, I was taking care of 21 people on average a day. And that did not include myself, and that was not accumulating for all the customers at the laundromat. There's 21 peoples and animals. I had 21 beings that were counting on me every day to do what needed to be done for their lives. And I wasn't happy. I was happy with being able to give to everybody, but I wasn't happy with what I was getting in return. Because it wasn't a lot. And when I asked for help, when I needed help, when I begged for help, I wasn't getting what I gave to people. I begged for people from Minnesota. I said, anybody, please come help me. I'm struggling. Nobody would come. I just even talked to Gus, not yesterday, but the day before, for the first time in quite a while. Because Gus even distanced himself once all this started happening. He quit talking to me because he didn't know what to do. Just like Leah. I had to leave him a message and say, Gus, when has my life ever been easy? You know this is me. Please don't bail on me. I need you and I love you. And then he called me back. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have him anymore. I had to do the same thing with Leah. I actually had to reach out to her boyfriend saying, Rob, please, I feel my best friend slipping away. Please don't let her go. Nobody knows how to handle this.
Have you heard from Leah then?
Yes. Finally. She even she's paid my phone for over 2 years. There's been a couple of hiccups where I've had to pay it or Papa's paid it. But for the most part, Leah's paid my phone for 2 years. I had 10 years where she wasn't in my life. I can't lose her again. She's actually my cunty McCunthole. You know, funny it was, yesterday she's sending me text messages and my phone keeps going off. Message received from cunty McCunthole. All I could do is laugh. Cunty McCunthole. And she wants to be called that. She loves it. She's like, call me your dirty cunt. I love it when you say it. She's so funny. Do you know she sent me anal bleach one time?
She did?
Yes. And then she had the people at Amazon type up, "I love being your cunt hole."
Funny, and she seems so straight-laced.
I know. And you know the best part is? She's about to get proposed to from a guy whose birthday is the day before mine. She found me with a penis. That's how much she loves me. And me and Rob get along great. I love him. She doesn't even know. I know she's getting proposed to. She doesn't. I haven't told her either.
You don't want no kids, does she?
Nope. She's had 2 abortions. And she didn't even tell me about them.
What about your husband and me? Does he have kids?
Rob's older than her by 10 years even, I think. Like, there's a considerable age gap. I think kids are kind of not.
Because she's almost 42.
Yeah, Leah's not. That's not what she wants for her life. She wants to be a great aunt. She wants to be a great friend. She wants to live her life without the burdens of taking care of somebody else. And I don't fault her for that. That's the road that she wants to walk for her life. When I was a kid, I didn't understand that. When I was a kid, I was so judgmental, and after everything I went through with my mom, I looked at being a mom as such a precious gift that I couldn't understand how you would deny yourself that gift, or a child that was coming into the world, how you could fault them for your decisions and punish them and take their life because of your decisions. And now, especially with Leah and what she went through and how she gave me a different perspective, I understand. And she made the right decision for her life.
It's just hard with this abortion. I knew kids in school that use that as birth control. I just don't believe that.
And I agree. I think that if you have so many abortions, you should have to have your tubes tied.
Yeah, I do tied or
Hysterectomy.
yeah, if you have a kid or you don't want the kid, go through with it and have a baby. It's not fair. It's murder.
Yeah. But I almost technically murdered Nino because I didn't think it was fair that he was going to have to grow up with a rapist father. You know?
You don't get that way now, do you?
No, but that's because of Lori. That's not because of Jesse. That's because Lori took the time to love him and help him to be a better human being.
I'll tell you what, Andy don't look good.
I know Cassie ain't good. Anisha is.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She's got love her life and as a child. And I watched her go during her pregnancy on Facebook.
Yeah, she's just
I just
adorable.
run into her one time at Cambridge with her baby. But that's a different story. And then you see Andy, and he's all spun out on drugs.
That's because they weren't honest with him. I kept telling them to talk to him. I kept telling them to be real with him, to be honest with him.
He looks, he was strung out. He looks like Jesse.
No, put Jeff, nope. If you were to know Jeff, nope. Put him and Andy and Jeff in the same room, you would, nope, you wouldn't even question it. Not even for a second.
Now, I know
Nope.
that before, but now look at him.
Nope.
No, he was,
I haven't seen Jeff in years. I still guarantee you he looks just like his daddy. No, that's Jeff's kid. That is, I guarantee you even, that fucking she...
Did they do his DNA?
No, but I guarantee you that's Jeff's kid. There was something in the situation that there was no doubt, even then. And I guarantee you that Sarah got sodomized and raped because Anisha is more than likely Shane's. If you were to look at a picture of Shane, and look at Anisha, you would see that brother.
Well, did she have different fathers for all the boys?
I think all the kids. I think Cassie is Jesse's, Jeff is Andy is Jeff's, and Anisha is Shane's. And I think that's
No,
why.
that's the one I'm talking about. The grandmother.
Pam, no, Pam is now currently with a different man, and his name is Sarge. But that's Jesse's stepdad. I don't know Jesse's real dad. But no, my understanding is that they all had the same dad.
Only because their kids all turned out like that.
I know, and I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you. I know exactly what you're saying, and I understand it, and I don't fault you for your beliefs. But I also know from the time I spent with all of them that there's a damn good chance I'm not wrong.
Well, actually, Anisha looks a lot like her mother, too, though.
Oh, yeah. Put Shane in there, and you can see that all day long. I'm just telling. I know where you're coming from. I'm not saying. I'm just.
Yeah, but those brothers are really fucking assholes because they're asleep with their brother's wife.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm never going to say you were wrong on that. But I'm also saying that bitch was a hoochie for spreading her fucking legs for every single brother. And I don't know that she necessarily didn't deserve the dick in her ass. And I'm a female that's been raped how many times? You can hear it. There are things that females do that set themselves up. And then we want to scream, oh my God, poor me, I'm a victim. And that was what that judge was screaming at me and treating me like in a courtroom. But I'm not that female. I'm not that one. I know we do foul things to men. I know as women we let our men down. I've said that even to you with your own husband. And why can I not get this computer to come on so I can shut it off? Oh, stupid thing.
Oh, yeah, I gotta shut mine off, too. It's on.
Pissing me off.
I had to bring something up, so I thought, well, I'll see if I can. But I downloaded one of the things, and it says there's no such thing. Or it's not there. Couldn't find the file.
Well, I will try to piece it back together in a PDF file and send it that way. That's the best I can do. I love you, Auntie, but I'm about to go to sleep. I'm beat.
Yeah,
I'll turn on my heater and snuggle up with my puppies and go to bed. I'll light my candles too. Trying to keep my room lit at night now. Fucked up. I used to sleep in the dark. I'm not scared of the dark. I'm scared of the fucking demons that take advantage of it. Fucked up, ain't it? But the dogs know him. The dogs know him. They have. And then I tell the cops that and they just fucking write me off. No, my dogs have displayed multiple times that they are not okay with things.
There was even a video one time. I don't know where it went. It's missing now, but I could hear Tim's name calling Maggie out, I could hear Tim's voice calling Maggie's name out 3 different times. She wasn't gonna shut up for his ass. Does she know
Oh,
he?
yeah. During that rape, I don't hear the dog barking.
Huh?
I heard the dog barking.
Yeah, because they know. They know it's not okay.
It didn't seem like they were in the same room, though.
Huh?
We were outside the room.
Well,
It sounded like they were outside.
Well, yeah, and actually at that time they were outside. Because Tim knew that I was getting fed up with them and their behaviors, and then if they did one more stupid thing, they were going to be stuck outside all the time. So then next thing you know, they killed my rooster, which was a setup. They were allowed to do it, basically. So that I would kick them outside because I was fed up with their bad behaviors. Fucked up, huh?
Yeah, everybody did it themselves. Dogs got late.
See, but now I got my other 2 dogs back, so I definitely know I'm safe. Because Maggie won't shut up for just anybody. Maggie won't stop barking, so I know I'm safe. If she starts barking again, it's because somebody's trying to hurt her. Well, I mean, I think that's part of it, but ultimately, what I think it is she's just way. I used to, when me and Reno lived in the trailer before we burned it down, it was just me and him. I'd get shitty ass fucking drunk because of that place with John. And Maggie would, she's a runner all day long. She's like Jumpin' Joe, dude. That bitch is gone. And, she fucking would sleep and pass out with the front door light open because it was summertime and it was hot. It was a trailer. And she would sleep right in front of the front door. She let me. She took care of me and that kid. I've had this dog for a long, long time. It'll be 10 years this summer since that. That was the worst year of my life. Actually, I've had her 9 years because I got her in 2008 and I was moving. Alright, it should be end of 2007, beginning of 2008, right? Come on, man. And then so I know I'm probably the one that didn't have time because I knew I already had a dog and I should have this people. I don't think she can see good enough because I didn't. Did she just get old and just took her a few minutes to get up now? A few seconds at her. But she, dark time, and I just snapped at her and tapped on the bed. So she heard my snap and tap, and I would have seen it. She was slow to get up. Mm-hmm. Tiffany's gonna be old though.
Yeah, she's better shape than
What's I saying? Tiffany's gonna be like 25 probably before she dies. Tiffany will probably be 25 before she dies. Maggie's about the size of Dawn. Remember Dawn? Yeah. Huh? No, Maggie is good 50-pound dog, so is Dawn. 45-pound at least. Dawn was a spaniel. She wasn't a sprinkler, she was a spaniel. Yeah, Dawn. No, she was still 45 pounds. She was a spaniel of some sort. And she was a medium-sized dog. 26, I thought. No, you're right, 22. No, you're right, it was 22. I remember her like, always being curled up on the
My dad
rug.
found her when he was at a run. He had found her, and the reason I call her Dawn is because she's great. Dawn.
The lightness. You see, Tammy, that's what I've always said from the beginning of this, is that I would bring the darkness to the light. That's why God gave me this, is so I could bring the darkness to the light. Because there's some really dark shit happening here. Mexican cartel. I know. The Mexican cartel is what I keep hearing now too. So. No, I agree with you, it's not safe. I agree with you, it's not safe. But right now, if they touch me, if they do anything to me, yeah, that's really funny, don't it? And I told him, I said, go ahead, kill me. Take me out of my fucking misery. End my suffering. End my pain. No matter what, you gave my kids a badass education. Because if you think my family's gonna roll over and play dead, you're sadly mistaken. My family will fight for me. And if something happens to me, suddenly end up dead, my family's gonna know I'm not lying. My family's gonna know I'm telling the truth. Right? Right? That's what I've been living all summer long. That's exactly what. Oh, believe me, I've thought about it. You think that my daughter wouldn't hop in a vehicle with me and fucking run? I know. But believe me, I've thought about it. No. No, but I want to. I know she's not. I know. And Tammy, and that's when I talk to you, just so you know. I will. But just so you know, I record when I talk to you on the phone, and I will be posting it on YouTube, just because, God forbid, anything happen to me, I want that out there. I want us having these conversations. I want us having, you know, that it's important to me that other people hear that I didn't just make this up, that this wasn't a fake conversation, that this wasn't just, you know, me on the fly, you know, saying I'm sane and that somebody else believes me. But no, this really is happening. This really is taking place. Because I'm tired of being made out to be a fool. I'm tired of being made out to be traumatic or psycho or whatever the fuck else the case may be that they want to get. Oh, I have. No. And I have. I have. Well, not only that. I'm not the first person in history to have gone through something like this. I'm just the first person here that has been smart enough to catch on and stand up to it. Do you see what I'm saying? There was a movie called Gaslight, and somebody did look it up. But look it up. That's exactly what I'm going through. And somebody out, two different people told me about it. But those same two people that told me about it are two people that I feel are involved. The guy Peter that I talked about, that I am just infatuated with because of what he's given me, he won't even talk to me now. Because I figured out he's their heating and cooling guy. He knows what he's their heater and cooling guy. The air conditioning. He knows about heaters and air conditioners. How are they getting to me at the Motel 6? Through the heater and air conditioner. They're going in through the outside, coming clicked. That's how the puzzle went. That's how the piece fell into place. Nope. Well, I broke one actual outlet trying to pull because I had duct taped my outlet in my jack into the outlet where the power source. I had to plug them in because whatever they did from the room adjacent to me, they made it so they could just fall out and make the outlets loose. Because you know the outlets are parallel. But it wasn't like that when remember I switched rooms? I checked it right away. It wasn't like that when I got in there. But it was like that an hour later. And it was one of the first things I checked. Because they did it in the other room. And that other room is where I heard my kids up in the I watched Mike cry his eyes. I seen him with my own two eyes. I heard him with my ears crying because he knew he fucked up and I was gone forever. Those were her words. His words to me. I loved her. Now she's gone forever. And he told him. There's me as money. And he chose you, but I know you are. He used to look at me and just start crying, and I couldn't figure out why he was being such a pussy. He was being such a pussy because he knew what he was going to do to me. I love him, Jeremy. I don't have him as I don't have a Mr. Right in this lifetime. I have that kid. That's all the love for me. And I'm not gonna love him. That's all I need. Thank you. Because according to my work, oh, he hates me. He hates me. Because I can't give him the material he wants.
But if he stays with Bonnie, he's not going to amount to anything.
But that's where I'm, like I said, that's why I
He
can't.
needs to be with somebody that loves him unconditionally, and Bonnie's doing it for money.
Thank you. That's why, like I said, that's why I need you to call that lady. That's why I gave you that number and the name. Because she needs to hear that. She needs to know this isn't just some psycho, drug strung out mom that's desperate, praying for somebody to override her worker. She needs to hear that this is coming from the same loving mother that's heart's breaking, that's fighting for her kids. And she's not going to believe me otherwise. She's just never, I mean, not like when she talks to the worker and hears that she's just not. Special medicine is what it is. Camaraderie. And like I said, I've said many times, all these, she's thankfully not in the other side. But all these people here, I don't stand a fair chance. And I'll drink from the same fucking copies at first copy. Tom cleans the courthouse. He can attest that my name is on at least 3 different floors of a 7th floor building. All he does is clean it. He knows the chips are stacked against me. I can help it.
He told you that?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And the only The judge that has my back, the judge that told me he knows shit's foul here, he is the most humble of all the judges, and I didn't like him for a while. 'Cause he fell asleep during the evidentiary part of Bobby's trial for reckless driving, and Bobby wasn't in the wrong. Cop was. And I stood up for Bobby, just like I did Patrick, just like I could do. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You know? And I have never had a ticket for failure to yield to emergency here. Well, the cop had somebody pulled over on his shoulder. I screwed over as far as I possibly could because there was oncoming traffic and it was a double yellow line. I was slowing down to take a right-hand turn, so I had to be because the turn was coming. So it was not at the speed limit or excess. I had yielded as much as I could yield for the officer as well as the oncoming traffic. But the officer didn't like my speed. The officer didn't like my yield. So he pulls me over. Not long. I mean, literally, I took the turn and was Jerry's. And so I made him say on tape that I did yield, just not to his satisfaction. When I went to court the first time, I was told I needed to pay a bond. And I said, excuse me, for what? And he said, for your freedom, basically. And I said, but this isn't a jailable offense. So, and I'm already out on my own recognizance. Why do I have to pay a bond? And he said, well, can you pay it? And I said, no, I cannot. Can you pay it in 24 hours? No, I cannot. Why? Because I'm not rich. I'm poor. I can't just come up with money out of my ass. And so, and I wasn't exactly thrilled with me, needless to say. I said talking to file a complaint against him, but then for whatever reason opted not to. And I'm glad I didn't, because he's the one that I have on tape saying that there's some foul ass fucking shit going on in this county. He's the one who gave me back my trailer, but I couldn't get it moved because it was so damaged. And then my worker turned around and used that damage against me. Like I was a fucking piece of shit that had a shitty home for my kids. I was with my little place by myself. I did a lot of work that was by myself.
That place was like, how much did we pay for that place?
$3,000.
Was it worth $3,000?
I don't know, honestly. It was to me because I was homeless. It was to me.
This guy was fun for it.
Oh, I know he is. What he does is he allows people to rack up $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 bills. But when they can't pay, he kicks them out on the street and takes their homes. That they brought to his land. And that's why I'm suing him. And we'll call him.
You bought the trailer from him too? No.
Yep. And that's why I'm going to sue him. Oh, he's about to get fucked. He's about to get fucked.
Get it now. He's been sent home.
He's done it to several people. I think I would say that he's 4.
Do you know those people?
Yes, personally.
Do you want to take him there with you?
If I have to, I'll ask the judge for a continuance, wait for another hearing, so I can bring this people if she wants to speak to them.
Yeah, I would say. They don't have to do that. I understand.
And I thought about
Then you
that.
go after him for more money.
See, but that's if I can get one person, or if I can get this is a start. And I can really tell the judge, look, Your Honor, I'm just looking for a window to open for other people to be able to go for theirs. I'm looking for one for, to be the first person to be able to fight. Because other people don't know that they have a fight in it. They don't know that they can. They feel so powerless against people with money. This person has
Why
money.
don't you go to school to be a lawyer? God dang it.
I have
Well,
money.
you know, yeah, he, what did you know, you still do fucking do it. Smart enough.
Thank you, because you know, according to the neuropsych, I have average intelligence.
Oh, you just gonna cry yourself.
No, she used words I didn't know. She used words I've never even heard.
Well, that's not good.
She set me up to fail. And that's the only way I said to my Tom. He goes, yeah, they got you fucking snowball, pigeonholed. I said, I told
Tom
you.
knows, he knows.
But Tom didn't know. Tom had to live with me again to see me again. Because he even forgot me. And he even forgot me from that. That's so bad. They hurt me.
You got him back, right?
Yeah, but I had to work for it.
What?
I had to work really hard for it.
No, but he knows. You know, he's not gonna let him down, so.
He's like a dad, dude. You know, I don't have
I
one.
know, but I looked up his thing, you know. Who came up, people you might know,
Right.
you know, or be friends with, you know. Things I'm friends with you, and it was a picture of Ariel on him,
He
his
loves her.
granddaughter.
He loves her so much.
Grand,
It is.
it was so cute.
And Bobby hurt him by not bringing the kids here. Bobby hurt him by not trying.
Is he not supposed to bring the kids at DSCF at all?
Nope, I can't. But he could have brought him here before I was here. And Bobby told him that he would, and he never did.
Yeah, Bobby wants control.
Mm-hmm.
All it is. So,
But that's the stuff that needs to be told. If I say it, it's just me being better. If I say it, it's just me being
well, I
better.
don't know Bobby very well, but
You know human nature.
I know human nature, and I wasn't impressed with him. But he really is strong. Can't tell you.
You know, Tom says that all the time. He goes, you know what? Nobody can tell you. Tom goes, that's one thing about you guys. Goes, nobody can tell you how to live your life. Nobody. Like, I can't tell you shit. But I've never been one
No,
thing.
I didn't know how to say it. I kind of had, I mean, my mom came out and was asked.
But did I lie?
Probably had to ask.
But did I lie? Did I lie? But did I lie? But did I lie? Have I ever ran from who I am since I've been an adult? Have I ever? No. You're right. I didn't volunteer it, but I didn't deny it once it was asked, and I didn't find a way around it. I didn't sugarcoat it. I didn't. I was doing better on these times though. No, I understand, but Tammy, I honestly got the time to do it was on the drugs. I was doing more for myself. I wasn't crying all the time. I wasn't sad. I wasn't depressed. I had a forward momentum. I had a plan. I was executing that plan, and other people with twisted minds and their drug addictions changed them. I was never addicted. I'm still not addicted. I didn't use to use. Right. I want some other sort of help. I don't want to be fucked up like that. I went tried to go to a psychiatrist on February 11th, as a matter of fact, in this last, 2016, and asked for help. I was told I had to get off that medical marijuana before they suffer in physical pain, well, yay, you came to that like my mom, just so that you'll look at me for my mental health. That's a double-edged sword that's fucked up and twisted and fucking massive. Fucking ass. But that one thing helped my brain. So, but I don't want to antipsychotic. Oh, I know I need to be on medication. I know I need to be on the stimulant. I know I do. I need to be on a legal stimulant. Because that was when I was my best, was when I was on an illegal stimulant. Well, obviously, that's what I was trying, that's what I was getting at. That's what I was looking for. And because I've used illegal stimulants, they don't think that I can handle a legal stimulant. But I wasn't being responsible for the illegal stimulant because I wasn't trying to use it to do drugs. I wasn't using it to be high. I was using it to be normal. Well, they wouldn't give me anything without nothing in my system for a year, including marijuana. Because all I was doing was drug smoking. For me, it lowers my pain, it lowers my teeth. When my tooth, I got my tooth pulled the other night. Fucking, I got an infection, it was starting to hurt really fucking bad. The only thing that would use the pain was God. I was taking painfulls. He busted two of my teeth. Never even got charges. Several comes on with police, with kids that he left, whatever. They're the other ones that died. What was the single? I'm blocked now. One morning, I'm blocked. Before he even punched me, I was blocked on Facebook. That's one of the things that you can pretty good. And he even tried to help me, just like this guy did. He tried really hard to help me. You need to find a way to say it when you don't sound so crazy. And I'm not saying I'm rude. You just gotta find a better way to say it. Because the way you're saying it makes it sound like you're crazy. Yep. And his kids really ready to because it's not that I don't believe you, because I do. It's that you're just, some of us will have a choice. And you have to do it even though you don't want to. But the guilt is going to eat us alive. And your emotion towards his dad. And that's what hurts his dad. Telling you that his dad really didn't want to be a part of it. He didn't really care. No. No, it helps me sleep. No, it helps me sleep. It helps me get it out and it helps me sleep. But there's nights where I lay here and I'm awake for 2 hours and I can't fall asleep. Because I can't shut my head off. It was then I think and I miss my kids and I miss the I missed your very first kiss. Nobody forgave me. Yeah, she has. She's fine for now. She's got grandkids even. Keep old ass snippets and things. None of her kids are guaranteed as pretty as mine. I'm not gonna get them fucking kids. Yep. Yeah, I don't. I wish. I honest to God would fucking trade you right now. I would take it. I would fucking take it right now. I would. And I wouldn't hesitate. Oh yeah, a heartbeat. That's what I've been doing. And that's what I've been working on. But that's right. That's what the last message that's that last message. Well, and that's what I sent, that last message that I sent to that lady this evening. I don't see the reason I cannot have my children, and these are all the things that I have going for me. And I should not have lost them in the first place because there was somebody having sex with me. There were people doing drugs in my house. These are all the things I claimed to my worker from the beginning. And it could have easily failed a drug test because of people doing drugs in my house on surfaces that I wasn't aware that they were even using. So I could have easily picked that trace. And if these people had been followed, it would have never been here. And I've been here since December 6th. Or December 7th, excuse me. December 7th. 3 days. Yep. Yep. No, 3 days. Pot is longer. Oh, the hair, they can't test it because I dye it. I dye my hair, so they can't test it. You see, Bobby even called the cops knowing I was going to fail, knowing that I would give it up because I thought I was sober. He knew I would fail. I didn't think I would. Yep. Yep. He told him he was concerned about their living. And the cop that came in has known me for years and doesn't like Bobby. Bobby was fucking high and drunk by the time Deputy Ray came for him. And he wasn't at the scene, but he was talking to the deputy on the speakerphone telling him Officer Buckshot and shit because Deputy Ray met his name. Yeah, Bobby's the one who called and said he was concerned about their living. About her area of living. I left Nino there because we knew we had planned off. So I found Puck to stay. And I had a fight with him. Nino even punched my car up. He picked them up from Grandma. Then I found out they were in buildings. I went and got from Papa. Something told me, I called Papa, and I found out my kids were in buildings, and that they had just gotten there the night before. My instinct told me to call. My instinct told me to call and ask about my kids. He didn't. I didn't even know they were in buildings. or you need to call Kelly especially. That is all extremely important intel. That is all extremely important things that we're missing from the case. Where you need to call my lawyer and fight for me. He needs to know this. And
You need to tell, when you talk to the people, that they're allowed to talk to me.
no, you can talk to Gala. Oh shit, it's in my mouth. Fuck. You can talk to her. There's nothing that is stopping me. My lawyer, there's nothing that's stopping me. Nothing. He told me to have you call him. He told anyone.
Okay, I'll call now. I talked to Elizabeth.
I love you. Go to sleep. You got it. And your hands full now.
I love you.
I love you too.
You love me. Alright?
Alright, you too. Good night. Here. with it. Pretty good. Go bed.